Hi, this is Rosemary calling you today or appearing today on my Healer's Journey webinar, Messages from Spirit. And when I sent out a newsletter earlier regarding the topic, I think in the subject line I may have put, "Are your wires crossed?" And so I want to explain that a little bit when we get to that point. But for now, let's just get started with Messages from Spirit. And so that's me. If you're looking online and you can see the images, I'm Rosemary. That's my dog, Gracie. I'm the author of Heal Together, Natural Health Solutions for Animals and Their Humans. And I'm also a certified vibrational sound master teacher, along with Reiki master, shaman, and psychic intuitive. So let's get started. And before we get started, I just wanted to mention, before we begin, whether you're listening now or listening later, at some point, grab a pen and some paper or use your journal and be in a quiet place. Ready? All right. What are messages from Spirit? Well, they could be dreams. Messages come to us in the form of dreams. When we meditate, we might even feel more than calm. We may receive what I like to call downloads, where you're receiving messages from Spirit because you are in a quiet meditative space. Messages from Spirit can even be coincidences. My philosophy is there's no such thing as coincidences. It is all meant to be. So if you are bumping into people or you see a sign and it keeps popping into your life, a headline in the news, well, we won't say headline in the newspaper, sorry, but something you're reading and the words are just jumping out at you over and over again, these are not coincidences, these are messages from Spirit. Your experiences can be messages from Spirit. I had a very profound experience one time a few weeks ago. I was talking on the Healer's Journey about it with all the geese that were gone from the park and how that came to be and how it hit me very hard right in the heart. That was a message from Spirit, or part of the message. Also, our interactions with animals, plants, crystals, and other aspects of nature. When we have interactions with, and I'll add people to that, when we have interactions, experiences, it can motivate a particular mood, inspire us to act or say or do something. It can hold us close in our heart. So all of these interactions that we have can be opportunities for us to receive messages from Spirit. Now, a message can be something you witness visually or witness visually in your mind. You know, have a sort of a flash of what that might be. A message from Spirit can be something you hear audibly, like whatever a person is saying to you, or a music that keeps coming up on the radio. Or it could be something you hear in your mind. A message could be something you feel physically, whether it's a hug or a poke or whatever it is that you are feeling, maybe a pain, or it could be a sensation in your body of something that is there that you notice. Now, take a moment right now to remember a recent message from Spirit in your life. I'm sure you can think of something. Good. Take a moment to write it down. Maybe it was an encounter with a friend, or you were thinking of somebody and then they called. So just keep it simple. Good. All right. Let's move on. Now, what do you do with messages from Spirit? What do you do? Well, you might even say, you're not even aware of them as messages. right? You might even be calling them coincidences or just things that have happened. So you might not be aware that they are messages from Spirit. Or you're somewhat aware, but you ignore the messages. You just go on about your life because you have a life and it's busy and you're working and you're doing things. So that message gets lost somewhere. It gets passed on. Or you get the message, but you feel stuck in a loop. You can't escape or change your circumstances, so the messages really aren't helping you. Or you feel that maybe they're not for you or not right now. And so what you do with messages from Spirit does have a consequence. You might keep a journal. If you receive messages from Spirit in your dreams or you're getting downloads in your meditation, you can record them. And just the fact that you are recording them, writing them down, remembering them, or even meditating on this information is giving value to the message from Spirit. You are saying, yes, I got the message. Now, please offer some clarification on this. I don't know what this means. And so you continue to do the work. You're honoring the receiving of the message by writing it down or meditating on it to develop a greater understanding. Or you might get the message and you begin to integrate the messages into your life. You make a change. Maybe you are inspired. Well, I'll just say recently I was inspired. A couple weeks ago, I looked in the mirror sideways, you know how you sometimes do, and all of a sudden I get this flash, this image in my mind, and I actually saw it in the mirror, and I was really skinny. It looked like I had lost, 10 or 20 pounds. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. I really saw that. I felt like I saw it with my eyes. Well, guess what I'm doing now? All of a sudden, I love kale. Kale is something I wasn't paying much attention to, but I am craving kale. And to tell you the truth, I feel really different now that I'm eating kale. I'm finding ways to integrate this into my life. So I got the visual message, and then all of a sudden these things start falling into place where I'm integrating the message into my life. Now, I don't know why kale. I don't know why I saw that slender me, but I'm getting it. I understand it. This is a message of some sort, and I'm beginning to integrate it. So you may notice changes happening that you didn't think were possible. You might notice things you're doing differently, or places you're going, or people you're interacting with differently because you received, you actually honored, and you integrated with this receiving all of these messages that are coming through for you. Now, are your wires crossed? Here's where we ask, what does that mean? Are you missing out on messages from Spirit that could help you in some way, and perhaps with your life's purpose? Who would be the ones who are missing out on the messages from Spirit? The ones that are, too busy, don't believe, don't understand, didn't hear it, didn't see it the first time, not paying attention, not even thinking along those lines. Those are the people who have their wires crossed. In other words, they're paying attention to things that are in the material, physical, three-dimensional world, and they're not paying attention to messages from Spirit. Are you experiencing the universal hammer? Excuse me. The universal hammer. Now, these are circumstances that make you retreat and do self-care or make changes in your life because you have to. I call the universal hammer is, like if you get a cold, or like I did one year, I slipped on the ice. and hurt myself, not just once, twice, 1 week and 1 week apart. And so this is the universal hammer that makes you sit down, shut up, and do some self-care. Maybe you're going to go get a massage when you haven't been doing that. Maybe you're going to go get acupuncture, or you're going to change your diet, or you're going to soak in a tub of Epsom salts, or whatever it is that you do for self-care, because now you have to, because you have to get better, you have to go to work, you have to do those things. And the universal hammer is actually another message from Spirit that because you weren't paying attention to the little messages, the little things in life, the signs that were there, the coincidences and the experiences, if you weren't paying attention to that, watch out. The universal hammer will be coming. And for some people, the universal hammer is a very serious diagnosis, because that's what it takes sometimes for people to change and take care of themselves. What is your life's purpose? Now, this is a big question. I put this slide in here, and I knew as soon as I put it in here, I would perhaps get some pullback from people about, oh my gosh, she's asking for my life's purpose. Do we know what our purpose is? Now, we've thought about this. I have clients who come to me all the time, and that's one of the big questions on the top of their list is, what is my life's purpose? I want clarity, they're asking for. I want clarity on my life's purpose, and please help. And so right now, if you are listening to this, either write it down or think of it in your mind. Make a few notes now on what you feel or believe to be your life's purpose. Now, if you don't know, then this may be part of your question for our exercise. We're going to do an exercise next. So I'd like you to write a question, and maybe it is, what is my life's purpose? Or it might be something else that you want to know. What is it that you want to know? Because messages from Spirit don't come through willy-nilly. They come through because you've been asking. They come through because you want to know something. You want to change something. You've been asking for help in some way. And the messages are there from Spirit. The answers are there. But if we're not paying attention, we're never going to get them. Our wires are going to be crossed. So whether it's through dreams or coincidences or whatever it is, you need to have the question written down. You have to know what it is you want. You have to ask the question. So it could be, if you don't have a question to ask, what is my life's purpose? Now, what we're going to do is a little opening and then a meditation. Now, what I brought with me here today is a tuning fork for the pineal gland. Now, the tuning fork for the pineal gland emits a beautiful sound frequency that I will tap the tuner against this little puck that I have here, and I'll sound it into the microphone so you can hear it. And what this pineal gland tuner will do is it will connect with the vibration of your pineal gland so that it will vibrate. Now, you might feel it, you might not. And the pineal gland is a tiny gland in your head that is called the seat of the soul. This is the third eye that we are activating. And the pineal gland, for most people, is covered in fluoride crust. Because of the fluoride in our water, because of the fluoride in our toothpaste, in our diet, we have fluoride crusted pineal gland. And we want the pineal gland to be clear and open and activated. So the first part of this experience is hearing the pineal gland tuning fork. The second part of this experience is I have two metal singing bowls here, and I will begin with the lower one, the lower sounding one, and then after a little while I will switch to the higher sounding one, and I will sound each one for a couple of minutes. So this is your opportunity to experience different sound frequencies in a meditative way. When you listen to this later at your own time, it will be here for you whenever you want. So are you ready for that? Yes? Okay. Let's get started. Take a deep breath in. Let it all out. Offering gratitude for the messages that you received and for the vibrations that you received. Another deep breath in. And another exhale out. Sending all this extra energy that has moved through you out into the world for humanity. Listen to this again when you have some time, or find some other tones that perhaps are online or in a CD that you enjoy, and make some notes. Repeat this exercise often. This only took about 5 minutes, and it can set the intention for the rest of your day or for the evening. I don't know if you noticed, my voice is a whole lot calmer right now. I feel really soothed from having played these tones here. And just enjoy what it feels like. Now I'm going to ask you to participate if you feel called to do so, and share your experience or share a recent message you had from Spirit. If you would like to join in, you may say something now.
I'm not sure what you used the first tone with, but I could feel it reverberate through my head in a pleasant way, not in a bad way.
That was the pineal gland tuner. So it is a specific frequency for the pineal gland. That's one of the tuning forks that I use in my sessions that I have available in the classes that I teach as well. It's remarkable how that feels. So what you described is exactly the kind of feeling that people can experience when they are using this on themselves every day, perhaps, or even just a few times a week would be enough, or once a week. You know, as long as you're using it, then you're getting the benefit of it. So that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Any other comments? Do you feel relaxed?
Definitely.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you have a question or a comment?
I was just going to say it's all very new to me, but I am evidently drawn to having some new experiences, and it was very calming, and I think I know my life's purpose, but it's a transition, so all these new things that I'm going towards are going to help.
Wonderful. Yes, thank you for sharing. Because even though we may be on track with one career choice, one role, for many years I was teacher, and then I became mother, and then I was teacher again, and, and wife somewhere in there, it's all mixed together. We have all these roles, and so it might feel like our purpose is changing. It really isn't changing. We are changing. And so when we change, our experience is different. So that's a wonderful observation. I appreciate your comments and look forward to hearing more about what is happening with you. Well, yeah, you're welcome. We should talk more after. After I turn off the recording, that's one of the benefits of being on the Healer's Journey webinar live, is that we get to chat after I turn off the recording. Yes. Okay, so just make notes on your meditation. Notice how you feel at the very minimum. You feel relaxed, then do this again. So what we did was an activation with the pineal gland tuner. we include all of these materials, crystals, tuning forks, and all of these wonderful things in our classes and workshops, especially our sensory intuition workshops, our Reiki classes, and vibrational sound healing classes. You can check out our calendar and see when the next one is. And something very interesting is happening. Michelle, my daughter, and I are doing an illuminated healer activation. So you get your wings, and we'll be doing that here in Portland, December 16. We're going to be doing that in Sedona, Arizona on October 27 and 28. So if you feel like taking a trip to Sedona, we'd love to see you and get your wing activation. And where will your path lead you? This is a question I always ask. I would love to know more about you on your journey and where your path is leading you. Please feel free to contact me through my website, secondnaturehealing.com, or you can email me, rosemary@secondnaturehealing.com. If you're not registered for the webinar, then go to my website and find the tab for webinar and put your name on the list. All of these recordings that I've been doing almost every week will come directly into your inbox, and you'll have direct links to all of the recordings and any follow-up documents. Thank you so much for being here, and I will close the webinar.